It was a hot August afternoon, and I was playing softball. Now, before you begin imagining some extraordinary baseball or softball career that I have somehow neglected to mention, let me provide just a little context. Yeah, I was pretty athletic growing up. I played basketball and football. I ran track in high school. I did the long jump and the triple jump. I even tried my hand at tennis. And of course, like a lot of kids those days, I played Little League baseball until I was almost 13. And I loved it. But there was one hitch in my game: hitting. More specifically, hitting the ball well. I mean, I could hit it occasionally. I usually made contact of some sort or another. And I could even get on base, more often than not. But that beautiful, solid connection between bat and ball that sends it sailing into the distance, well, that had largely escaped me. And now I was playing on a church softball team. An older friend on the team, who always seemed to just crush the ball every time he hit it, had taken an interest in improving my hitting. All through the season, he worked with me. He gave me pointers. He watched my swing. He talked about making sure my back elbow was up, nice and level. He tried to help me make better contact. And despite his best efforts, I remained remarkably consistent, which is simply another way of saying I wasn't getting much better. Now, this next part is going to sound like I made it up, or maybe dreamed it. But I promise you, this is exactly how it happened. On this particular sultry August afternoon, we had reached the bottom of the last inning, and we were losing by 3 runs. But as the softball gods would have it, we'd managed to load the bases. And there were 2 outs. Does that sound familiar? Casey at the bat ringing a bell? Well, apparently that day, in that game, Casey at the bat had been rewritten, and I had somehow been cast as Casey. Except that Casey was supposed to be the mighty hitter, which really meant that this casting decision was highly questionable. You see, I was up next, and I had already been to the plate twice that day. I had flied out once, and I had grounded out once. And the opposing team had apparently been paying attention, unfortunately. Because when I came up to bat, the outfielders moved in. Not one of them. All of them moved in, like practically into the infield in. Because they knew exactly what kind of hitter was coming to the plate, and, well, frankly, so did I. But before walking out to the batter's box, I went to my friend. After all the time he had spent trying to help me through the season, I figured this was as good a time as any for some final words of wisdom, or at least encouragement, or, I don't know, maybe a prayer. I asked him what I should do, and he looked at me and said, "Look, Mark, don't try to hit the ball far. Just watch the ball all the way in and swing level. Just make solid contact." I thought, that's it? That's all you're going to give me? Okay, don't try to be the hero. Don't try to hit it over anybody's head. Just watch the ball, swing level, and make solid contact. Okay. And I walked to the plate. The first pitch came. I swung, and I missed. I really had swung hard. I think that was the problem. Great start, Casey. I stepped out of the batter's box. I took a deep breath And I let my friend's words just go through my mind again. Watch the ball all the way in, swing level, just make solid contact. So I stepped back into the box. I got ready, and I waited. The pitch came. It soared in, nice, beautiful arc. And then it came down, and as it came down, me watching it all the way in, I swung, and I swung level, and smack! Oh, that felt different. That felt very, very different. And the ball took off toward left field, and it just kept climbing. And it kept climbing, and it was way over the left fielder's head. It was so far over the left fielder's head that he turned around and looked. He couldn't believe it. He just started running as fast as he could to get to the ball, but it still hadn't come down. And for just a half second, I stopped and watched the ball. Then I remembered, I'd better run. I dropped the bat and started running for first base. The ball finally came down, way beyond him, but it kept rolling. By the time I rounded first and headed toward second, that ball was still rolling somewhere way out beyond the trees. I rounded second and kept going, but by now the other runners had scored, all three of them. The game was tied, and everyone was yelling, "Keep going! Keep going!" So I did. I headed for third, and as I rounded third base, one thought went through my mind. There is no way I am not scoring. Now, I don't know whether I've ever run faster, but I headed for home for all I was worth. And the ball finally made its way back toward the infield, but I was almost home. I crossed home plate, and as I turned to look, I saw that the throw had barely reached the shortstop. And suddenly it was over, and we had won. 4 runs, 1 swing, a grand slam. I had done it. Me. The guy who had spent the entire season just trying to figure out how to hit the ball solidly had just hit the biggest hit of my life at exactly the moment my team had needed it. And the funny thing is, I had done it by not trying to hit the biggest hit of my life. I had simply watched the ball, swung level, and made solid contact. My first grand slam. And, well, as things turned out, my last. Only one. And when you look through all of the annals of softball history and look to my career totals, you'll find that that is the only home run and grand slam listed. But you know, if you're going to only hit one, well, bottom of the last inning, 2 outs, bases loaded, down by 3, that's a pretty good time to do it. This has been Saturday Stories from the Quiet Between, and I'm Mark Ammons, not Casey at the bat. I hope something unexpectedly wonderful happens to you this weekend. And if life ever gives you one perfect pitch, keep your eye on the ball. You never know. You just might knock it out of the park.